All right, with just over a month until Election Day, a judge has made new evidence in the Jack Smith case against former President Donald Trump public. The GOP nominee is now blasting the move as total election interference. Joining us now, Kerri Urbahn, Fox News legal editor and former counselor to Attorney General Bill Barr. So what does all of this tell you, Kerri?
I think it says that the Justice Department and Judge Chutkan are, to use the language that they used against Donald Trump, desperate to get this last-ditch effort in to influence the election. And here's why, Sandra. I think the January 6th voter has already made up their mind, either way. We've been hearing the same information that DOJ put forth in this 145-page small book, 165-page, for 4 years now. We've heard it from DOJ, we've heard it from the media, and we've heard it from Donald Trump himself. And two things can be true at once. You could have a former president that behaved poorly around the election and about it, and you can have a Department of Justice that is behaving poorly now in releasing this kind of information just several weeks out. Again, it's stuff that we already know, and I really put more blame on the judge in this particular situation because she controls the briefing schedule. She could have very well made this due after the election. We saw a number of judges in other cases, Trump cases, Hunter Biden cases, delay hearings and the like until after the election. Judge Chutkan and DOJ knew they weren't going to get a trial before the election, and so this is their closing argument in the case that Trump wins.
Okay. Kerri, I want to move on to this idea of censorship because this is becoming a bigger and bigger election issue, I should say. I want to play out this sound. It's about 53 seconds long, and it is both J.D. Vance and Tim Walz on the subject in that debate Tuesday night. Let's listen.
I believe that we actually do have a threat to democracy in this country, but unfortunately, it's not the threat to democracy that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz want to talk about. It is the threat of censorship.
It has massive repercussions. This idea that there's censorship to stop people from threatening to kill someone, threatening to do something, that's not censorship. Censorship is book banning. We've seen that.
The most disgraceful form of censorship that you see in the country in 2024 is when Kamala Harris calls the citizens of her own country, she calls them racist for daring to say that her wide open border is a disgrace. And I think of all the things that Kamala Harris has done, this is the worst. Because it is a fundamental right of this country that when we think Kamala Harris is doing a bad job, we have the right to say so.
So as Democrats continue to try to paint former President Donald Trump as the threat to democracy, J.D. Vance is quite clearly, in multiple occasions on the campaign trail and that debate stage, punching back. Is it effective?
You know, Sandra, when I used to work at Alliance Defending Freedom, we had a lot of free speech cases. And one thing I saw over and over again with the government, it could be the state government, it could be the local government, it could be the federal government, always trying to bludgeon out viewpoints with which they disagreed. And they would often do that by labeling things as hate speech, as disinformation. Where I saw this the most was with respect to people who held traditional views on marriage, the Christian view, the Jewish view, the Muslim view. That was labeled as hate speech. Where we saw this most recently, I would say, was in the lead up to the 2020 election, with social media companies working with the government to shut down anyone who said that the Hunter Biden laptop was in fact real. And we know that it was real. And so J.D. Vance is completely right on this. And I was, quite frankly, disturbed by Adam Schiff sending that letter to social media companies asking them to crack down on disinformation in the weeks leading up to the election, because it's a completely subjective thing. It's all within the eyes or the hands of the person who has power. So if I don't like your viewpoint, I call it hate speech, I call it disinformation, and then to bring the force of the government behind that is disturbing. And of course, it's especially rich coming from Adam Schiff, who is king of the disinformation team, considering for years he lied about Trump's so-called connections to Russia, the Russian collusion hoax, and he abused his position as chair of the Intel Committee to do so. So coming from him is especially troubling, but I also think it's very telling.
All very good stuff. Kerri Urbahn joining us. Kerri, good to see you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.